All right, so I'm going to take you through applying an underglaze wash to any area of texture on a project. In this case, your pinch bowl, but really anything where you've carved away, you can use this method, and you get yourself some underglaze. Darker colors work best. I have black here, and the very first thing you do is water it down a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of water and make sure it's not super liquidy, but we have to get it a little bit diluted so that it can get into all the cracks when we brush it on. So I'm taking one of the big bamboo brushes, and it holds a lot of underglaze. I'm just working my way around the project, and really I'm only getting the spots that have texture, like the bottom of the pot there. I don't really need to do this because it's just perfectly smooth, because eventually we'll be wiping away all of the underglaze that is sitting on the top of the pot. And so once you've put the underglaze on, you have to let it completely dry, or you can go use one of the hair dryers and make sure that it's dry, but that's kind of key, is that the surface of the pot is dry. And then you'll go over to the sink. What I'm showing you here is just that the pot is completely dried out. And the whole idea here is you need to have a really, really clean sponge and not a ton, too much water, but you just wipe away and make sure that each time you wipe, you have a kind of a clean area on the sponge. You can flip the sponge over, you could rinse it out, but you are wiping away all of the underglaze that is on the very surface of the pot. And so if you do it right and you don't press too hard, you'll wipe off the surface, and then all the underglaze will stay in the cracks. And so that's what I'm demonstrating here. I'm just trying to clean it up, get all the underglaze off of it that I don't want, and hopefully it will all stay in the cracks. Now sometimes you will accidentally wipe away some of the underglaze that is in there, like in some of the lines of texture, and you can just go back in, repaint it, quick dry it, and then try it again. If your texture is really shallow, like sometimes it is hard to wipe it away, you can use a smaller sponge. I've had certain areas on a pot that it's just like really finicky, and it's hard to wipe everything away without kind of taking all of the underglaze off, but if you're careful, it'll work. And yeah, basically that's the entire process. It can take a little bit of practice in the beginning, and it's really just the whole idea of making sure your sponge is nice and clean and you don't have too much water, because if you have too much water, it'll kind of run into the kind of cracks of your texture and rinse away the underglaze. So that's sort of the idea there. All right, thanks guys.